Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to be back. I didn't realize how much I missed the boys in AAC. I missed the sounds of hockey in AAC. I missed the fans, the Texas hockey fans roaring in AAC. Last night, the Stars beat the Kraken 4-1. They laid some haymakers. They scored some goals, and we had a grand old time back at American Airlines Center. Last night was Wednesday night. Today is Thursday as we're recording this. You are listening to this on Friday, February 27th. I'm going to a baseball game this morning. Sorry, going to Arlington. Going to go watch my boys, Mississippi State, play baseball live in action. But the Stars win 4-1. Welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Boy, did I want to be in that arena last night. I mean, when those goals started going in and that momentum started to really kind of tumble downhill, 2 weeks might have felt like a month off for a fan. And these players, it might as well have been 2 hours because they were ready to play from the jump.
They were. I got back home from morning skate yesterday afternoon, and I was like, I just looked at my wife. I told her, I was like, I just need to cherish every one of these moments that I get to go to morning skate, that I get to go to the locker room, that I get to go to the games for free, because like this isn't forever, you know. I'm not going to be able to do this forever. I would assume. I don't know. But just hearing the sounds of pucks and skates on the ice, and then last night at one point, Miro blocked a shot with his skate blade that popped out of his skate.
Yeah.
So hearing the skate blade shatter on the ice essentially from the press box was a fun thing. Hearing the goal horn, hearing the crowd, hearing Stars during the national anthem. Just don't take it for granted, because we went 3 weeks without it. 3 full weeks without Stars hockey in our ears, in our eyes, and in our hearts. It was way too long. It was way too long. And I was really happy last night getting to go to the game. I was a little nervous about what the first period may look like, and we were kind of right in our pregame predictions yesterday when we put that pod out. We were like, yeah, I think it's going to be sloppy. I think it's going to be a little gross. The first 18 minutes definitely looked like that.
Yeah, it was a scramble, and a controlled scramble, though. Like, it wasn't something crazy. It was just finding your footing, because the Stars, I think they had spent almost a week back together practicing, the guys that weren't in Milan. But you miss that much time without in-game action and somebody else's sweater on the ice while you're there. You're going to have some rust. And it was just kind of getting familiar with your lines back there and kind of getting in unison.
Yeah, and not everyone probably skated every day in the break and everything too, so you got to find your legs back in that week. I know Savannah talked to Matt Duchesne. She put it out on our Twitter feeds at Sports Savvy. Savannah couldn't join us today, but she talked to Matt Duchesne, and he said he went back up to Canada so he could skate on the lake. Like he just wanted to feel the feeling of skating while he was on break, but he was at home in Canada. It's all cold. He's going to skate on the lake. He skated like 5 or 6 days in a row right as he got up there as the break started. And then obviously he comes back down here, and they had practice Wednesday last week. And they practiced every day until yesterday. Finally had a game, got some action back. In that first 18 minutes, it wasn't sloppy necessarily. It just wasn't cohesive is maybe the word. Is everyone was starting to find a little bit. And we get 18 minutes in, and minute 45 is kind of looking on the clock, right? Yeah, roughly minute 45 or so. And they start to buzz a little bit. Wyatt Johnston scores a goal at 18:41 into the period. It was sick tip, a Joe Pavelskian tip. I wonder where he learned that one before. Absolute insane shot from Wyatt Johnston. And he was just in the right position. He was in the muck all game long, but it started with this play, I think, for the start. He gets that nasty tip that redirects backwards, basically, into the side. It was absolutely disgusting. Sick goal from Wyatt there. Assist from Lindell and Harley. So their Olympic assist acumen came over with them back from Milan. So good for them.
Yeah, and I think there was a power play early or maybe middle of the first period that when they killed that off, I kind of felt the Stars were starting to settle into their groove. I think the broadcast mentioned it too, like, the big battle was kind of who's going to step up tonight, knowing a lot of guys aren't there, and the guys you lean on heavily. So that was probably playing in the minds of a lot of that second line, that first line as well. And that tip in, I mean, people that have been listening to this podcast for a long time know the thing I marvel at from a hockey player is the way they redirect pucks. It's basically hitting a baseball backwards. It takes so much skill to do, and Wyatt Johnston just makes it look easy, just like Joe.
It was a sick one. It was his 30th goal of the season, so now he's in the 30-goal club. I think there's still only a handful of guys that have 30-plus goals this year. We've got a few of them. Not a big deal. Wyatt Johnston's 30th goal of the season. Since you into the first intermission, you're feeling pretty good. You had 4 shots on goal with 2 minutes left in that period, or a minute 45. That's what I took note of. It was 4 shots on goal. In that last minute 45, they had 7 shots on goal. They went from 4 to 11. They should have scored maybe once or twice more after the Wyatt Johnston goal to end that period. And I was like, all right, boys. The boys are starting to feel it. They're feeling good. Get this intermission out of the way. They come back out, and we'll just see if they can fire it away. And that's exactly what we got in the second. After those first intermissions, because the second period would come out, minute 43 into it, Matt Duchene, just little Matt Duchene, you know. I'm so happy that he started to find his footing before the Olympic break, and it was the last thing that he needed, right? It was the absolute last thing that Matt Duchene needed. He was getting assists, he was getting points, and then all of a sudden, Thomas Harley just kind of flings it towards Matt Duchene. It's another little tip. Matt Duchene gets it in. It's another goal. It's his 11th of the season, 20th assist for Thomas Harley there, less than 2 minutes into the second period. And that's when I felt like, okay, yeah, the boys are good. The boys are all right.
Yeah, and I ask you because you were in the building. That crowd, you know, it felt like they had taken 3 weeks off from seeing our boys play, and it was at this moment like they kind of really grouped together, and the people that were there brought that juice back, and we asked for it in the pod, and it was kind of here when they kind of got their season legs underneath them, and there was a huge pop when that goal comes in from Duchene.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of pretty big hits there too from Seattle. Obviously, Colin Blackwell was one of them. He took one from Lindgren. They both went down. Colin Blackwell got up pretty much immediately and started sprinting down the locker room. And I want to talk to Colin whenever I get to see him next is like, hey, did you just know that the concussion spotter in the crowd was going to say, hey, you got to go get checked on? And that's why you just went ahead and went to the locker room, because it was a little whiplashy. It was a really big hit. It looked like the brunt of it, but Lindgren was very slow to get up. Adam Erne went over and cross-checked him in the ribs and then realized that he was actually hurt, so he kind of laid off of him because he didn't like the hit, because Colin's a smaller guy. Lindgren's a huge guy. Looks like it's a high hit. It was a clean hit. It really was. You look at the replay, it's just a dangerous hit because Colin Blackwell's shorter. Lindgren's much taller. It's a lot like what happened earlier in the season with Matt Duchene. Obviously, we got lucky with Colin because he came right back out. But there was a lot of hitting, a lot of action. Adam Erne was a bowling ball. Justin Hryckowian and Colin Blackwell out there trying to throw hits and getting bodied to reversed hits. Saw Jason Robertson throw some reverse hits there in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game, and it went on throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing kind of went a little unnoticed for me in the first period and early in the there wasn't a lot of shots that got to Casey. And I think that was due to credit for a lot of really hard play by Colin Blackwell and all those guys, you know, Hryckowian kind of being a pest right at our blue line. And that was very exciting to see, because when we do get our healthy guys back, being that kind of lockdown and not letting high danger chances even be chances, like that's going to do well for this club.
Yeah, I think there was only a couple in the second that were a little squeaky, maybe a little gross, and you're just like, okay, well, Casey got it, or the defense picked up Casey there and knocked it out of the crease, whatever it was. Like, wasn't too bad. He had 3 shots in the first, 6 shots in the second from Seattle. The Stars had 10 and then 16 in the second, because after the Matt Duchene goal, you go on the power play pretty quick. After that, you don't score, but right after the power play ends, Sam Steele, Maverick Bork, and Justin Hryckowian. That line was fun when they kind of mixed those 3 guys together. But Bork brings it in. He puts a decent shot on the goaltender, and the goaltender starts scooting backwards, just actively scooting back towards the goal line. And you're like, why is he going back so far? And I don't know if he couldn't stop, or if he thought he had the puck, or they thought he was going to freeze it. Didn't happen, because Sam Steele comes in and basically nut taps him with his stick, and the puck poked out immediately. And they looked at it for goaltender interference. No goaltender interference called. Sam Steele gets the goal there, his 8th of the season, Maverick Bork's 12th assist, and Ritzy's 11th assist of the season, about 5.5 minutes into the period. So you're up 3-0. Feeling phenomenal at this point.
Yeah, I highlighted it Wednesday. Like, Maverick Borg is the one I'm very much watching in this game. We were looking for somebody to kind of be a spark, but what I loved is, like, nobody had to play hero ball with, you know, Roope out. That's going to be important because we don't know when Mikko will come back, but everyone they all gave him a little extra, maybe goalie's 1% last night. And it was enough to, this Seattle team were very healthy and they were being physical, and it just didn't scare this Dallas team. And they played a very fine, controlled game last night.
Yeah, the second period was pure dominance. There's really no other way to look at it. Obviously, the Kraken have 3 penalties in the period. You have a high sticking on Colin Blackwell. You have an unsuccessful challenge on that goaltender interference call that they tried to get out of it, and you go immediately back on the power play right then. And then Jared McCain slashing Alexander Petrovich when he was just trying to grab a puck at like the red line at mid ice. I think that was kind of a frustration thing. That is the last power play that the Stars would get. I believe in the game, but definitely in the second period. And Wyatt Johnston made him pay because it was a deflected shot. And I don't know if it was really Wyatt Johnston. He's just right spot, right time. Miro Heiskanen sends it towards the net. It kind of deflects off of a stick. And then I think it deflects off a Seattle stick and then deflected off of Wyatt Johnston's thigh, basically, and bounced into the net. 40th assist for the Miro Heiskanen, 11th assist for Matt Duchene. 31st goal for Wyatt Johnston, and that was a big one because that was Wyatt Johnston's 19th power play goal of the season. That breaks the Dallas Stars franchise record of Mike Modano, who had 18 power play goals in the season in 1993, 1994. However, that is not the full Dallas Stars, North Stars franchise record yet. That is 22. We'll be there soon. We'll be there soon, Wyatt. We'll be putting your name on both record books pretty soon, but that was a big one for Wyatt. He didn't really know, I don't think, until they put it up on the scoreboard and he saw it and he was like, that's pretty cool. It's a big deal. That guy's got a statue out front. Like that's a big deal to break one of his records. So cool to see that one in person. 31st goal of the season for Wyatt, 19th power play goal of the season.
Hands down the best player on planet Earth right now on the power play. And luckily for, Team United States, there was a 5-on-3 for Canada. They got connect on. There was somebody they could have used. And not to talk about too much Olympics, but seeing Canadian people in disarray, but then kind of look at the future and like kind of name some names out, Gavin McKenna, Connor Bedard, things like that. There's a name that kind of will emerge, not just in Dallas, but in all of Canada. His name's Wyatt Johnston. And when he gets on that team, he's going to be a problem for every other country he's playing against.
Look, Jim Neal's going to be a GM on Team Canada as long as they want him to be. He's not the head GM, but he's one of the assistant GMs. He's going to be there as long as they would like him to be. At some point, Jim is going to force his hand and just be like, you have to put this guy on the team because he does everything. He plays penalty kill. He can play power play. He's a centerman. He can play on the wing. He's a responsible defender, but really fucking good on offense. Why wouldn't you want to play this guy? Just throw him on the fourth line. You don't have to put him on the top line. The kid's exceptional. You give him 10 minutes a night, he's going to do something.
Super underrated at chasing a puck too. Like he takes an angle and when he's aggressive and gets that puck, like it's not really talked about in his game, but he's really good instinctively at pucks kind of in the corners. He's really good.
Yeah, so that was the last goal of the game for the Stars. The Kraken do score one about 7 minutes into the third period. It was a weird play. Casey's on the ground. He can't get back up. He got toppled over by his own guys and basically just wide open net. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's 4-1. The game was in hand. The third period was all about something else entirely.
Yeah, and
Yeah, the Kraken were taking liberties all game. They were hitting Miro, they were hitting Thomas Harley, they were hitting Robo, Wyatt. Like they were taking shots that were a little late or a little not necessarily dirty, but borderline. You're just looking at it, you're like, you shouldn't have done that. And at one point, it happens to Miro again at the blue lines. They're trying to get the puck out of the zone, and someone's trying to get in the zone. It is what it is. It's that weird little scuffle there on the boards by the benches. And it was a big kind of high shot on Miro. And Miro's just like, what the fuck, man? What are we doing? Adam Erne comes over and just starts cross-checking the shit out of Jacob Melanson, who's the one that delivered the hit to Miro, and just cross-checking him into oblivion against his own bench, to the Kraken players. And he's like, fucking fight. You need to fucking fight. And if you don't fight me, I'm going to fight you. And it doesn't matter. And basically that's what happened because Adam Erne took his glove off and just started wailing on that guy, hammering him. And then you get fucking Justin Hryckowian, our guy, Our beloved Justin Hryckowian takes on Ben Myers for whatever reason, because he just wants to get in the muck. And why wouldn't he? Because he had Colin Blackwell get in there. Miro Heiskanen got in there. Essa Lindell was in there. But Ritzy was like, I have to do something about this. And I have to do something like a dog, a rabid dog that doesn't have a home, no shelter, no food. I'm going rabid dog mode. And Ritzy, he got his ass beat. But, buddy, did he hold his own? He held his own. And Ritzy and Erne go to the box there for fighting, and then do the little dap up at the end too. It was a blast. So give them the fucking lumber, because they were tired of them taking shots at their superstars, and that's what you need out of this team. And this is something we did not see last year out of this team.
Yeah, and this is also something we've kind of been missing ever in Liam Bischel's absence. So we have been asking, especially that kind of period around the new year when we were losing games left and right. Like, we cannot get out physical, because when that happens, there's these weird bounces and these weird chances that happen. But if you can match, you don't have to even out physical teams. This Dallas Stars team is so good. You just need to match them. And if you can match them, that's when the skill takes over. And that's when you see huge scoring games like we saw last night. And Jamie Benn was out there being physical as well. Like, I love being able to match, but also not letting the game get ahead of you. And that's what we saw.
Adam Erne came to this team as on a PTO.
Yeah.
In the offseason. Like, he was not a shoe-in for this team. He is a little bit like Evgeny Dadonov is to Pete DeBoer. Wherever Pete goes, that's where Daddy went, and just kind of followed him. Adam Erne, I think, is going to be goalie's Evgeny Dadonov. Like, he just loves some Adam Erne. And Ernie's like a very skilled player and everything. He does a lot of good things. But this is why he loves Adam Erne. As goalie would say, he's a heavy body, and I can't do goalie's accent. I don't know how to do it, or his voice, but he's a heavy body. He does a lot of good things. He does the dirty work for us, and that was just a good thing by Ernst, you know. That's what goalie would say about Erne and about what he said last night. Like, that was an impressive showing from Adam Erne. 3 weeks off, had an injury right before the break as well, and had just come back after like a week or two before the break started. He comes back, and he's just a bowling ball, dude. You throw him down and he's knocking pins over. That's what he does. He just flies down the ice. He knocks people over. He hands people into the glass, and he makes sure that it hurts a little bit, and that, you know, when 73 is flying around, it's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. And I just love that he stood up for Miro, that Colin Blackwell immediately was in there. And then as soon as Ritzy knew there was something going on, he wasn't going to let that go. So I just appreciate that we have this version now, because last year we had, 2 fights maybe? It's like Jamie Benn and Matt Dumba at one point. Yeah. I think that was it, maybe 3. Like, Justin Hryckowian already has 3 fights this year. 3. He's gone to the box 3 times for fighting already this year, and the first 2 came in the first 2 games of the season. So love that from Ritzy. Love that from Erne. It's just something that this team needed in the offseason, and I think they've got it. And it looks like they might be trying to add a little bit more too. Yeah,
I mean, first game back, first in-game action in 3 weeks. I don't know about you, but that was one of my favorite wins of this entire season so far. Like, just the way they were kind of weathering that first period shakes, like, and then just never really being in any danger or being really comfortable on the ice. Like, really fun win last night. Love seeing Bischel back.
Yeah, Bischel being back, like, he was looking for the hits all night long, and the Kraken were doing everything in their power to avoid them. Every time they would get on the boards or in the corners or whatever, they would dump the puck real quick and do a little 180 on the boards to make sure that they weren't hit by Lian. So Lian's just hitting glass and board, just eating it like an animal. That's what he is. But we talked to him last night. He was just excited to be back. He's excited to lay in a little bit of hits and take care of some business around the net after the whistle and all that kind of stuff. So it was good to have him. It's good to see the physicality. It was good to see a team win there. And it was wasn't gritty necessarily, because it felt like they dominated from 18 minutes into the game in throughout the rest. But it wasn't like you didn't have Mikko, you didn't have Roope, you didn't have your number 1 goaltender, which goalie and everyone else will say Casey DeSmith is a number 1 goaltender. He just happens to be the backup on this team. So that's what the confidence is in this team right now, even with all those guys missing.
Yeah, last night's win felt like when in baseball, when you put out like your number 3 guy in the rotation, and you're just like, man, can we keep it competitive? And hopefully our offense has a great night. But then he goes out and pitches like 2 hits, 1-run game, 7 innings, just absolutely balls out. Like, that was like a Ronel Blanco performance.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to see. And those are like your favorite ones to see when like the bench player comes in and just has a game and everybody follows suit and feeds off that energy.
Yeah, they were blocking shots. They weren't doing anything too bad. Like they weren't making mistakes, and it was just a really good game all overall against a lesser team, right? The
Of course.
Kraken don't have firepower like the Stars do. They don't have that number one goal scorer. Like their number one guy has like 38 points, I think is what it is. Like Esa Lindell's close to that. Like that's a drop in the bucket for the Stars, right? So it's two different teams. However, the Kraken are in a playoff position. They are in a pretty good spot in their division. But overall, great win from the Stars. Before we get to our next part, hit that subscribe button. We got this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. We're almost at 250. I tried my damnedest today on Thursday to get everyone to subscribe so we could hit 250 so we could do the giveaway on this episode. But we didn't hit 250. We're getting close. We're like maybe 5-6 away at this point. So if you're at this point in the podcast and you haven't subscribed, we'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, give us a like, give us a comment, do all the things, turn on the notification bell on YouTube. But we're also on audio platforms. So if you want to listen to us while you drive, go on a run, do a workout, whatever, we're on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. We're there. Clean sheet of ice. Hit that subscribe button. Dom, yesterday, obviously, did morning skate, went to the building, got to see the boys, muck it up in the locker room, got to hear goalie talk and just express the importance of being able to play guys at different spots, right?
Yep.
Adam Erne, Colin Blackwell, Justin Hryckowian, Sam Steele, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene. Like you got all these guys that didn't necessarily have a spot before the break. And now they have their spot because Mikko Rantanen's out, Roope Hintz is out, Radek Fox is out. And that's the joy and the greatness of what goalie has done all season long by jumbling up the lines mid-game, by jumbling up the lines before a game starts, is that everyone feels pretty comfortable. And I think you saw that last night. But the thing that I noticed yesterday, we got to talk to Jake Oettinger, gold medalist for the Team USA hockey team on the men's side, and had a blast talking to him, hearing it. We did a full scrum. So we went in and saw the locker room, got to talk to all the guys and everything. Jake obviously wasn't starting, so he wasn't in the locker room at the time. Go and talk to goalie at the press conference, and then came back into the locker room and did a scrum around Jake Oettinger, which was a nightmare because there's 25 people and 10 cameras, and everybody's starting to show up because it's almost playoff time, and all the people that aren't here all season long are starting to show up because Jake Oettinger won a gold medal. But we got to talk to Jake, and it was an interesting press conference, right? He's talking about the experience in Milan and how awesome it was and how cool it was to be on the gold medal team, and how, yeah, he didn't touch the ice, but all he had to do was just stay ready and act like, hey, if Helly pulls something right here, if he gets hurt, if he gets banged up, like I have to go out there and I have to perform. Like that was kind of his mentality. What a backup goaltender usually does in the playoffs. It is what it is, right? He's excited about that. People were trying to get J class yesterday. That felt like with the political questions.
Yeah.
Felt like they were trying to get him. And I didn't really like that. I understand why you have to ask it, but one guy asked a very stupid question that other reporters were like, what is he asking that for? To me in the parking lot afterwards. So won't name names, won't say what the question was. But I thought that was weird and I didn't really appreciate it. But Jake did a phenomenal job answering all those questions and just telling his truth, and no one else can change that. No one else was there. We weren't there in Milan in the locker room with him afterwards, and it is what it is. But shout out to Jake. Thought he gave a lot of phenomenal answers yesterday.
Yeah, and these are hockey players, man, and they just did something phenomenal on a hockey rink. And I don't like when things get separate, when things get included in that's not hockey related, because you're asking a hockey player about, hockey. And I think not just Jake, but there was a lot of guys, even the women, that answered very responsibly on things. And luckily, I think over time we'll get back to just the hockey part of this hockey team.
And that was the coolest thing. Pre-game, they showed some highlight packages of the men's and women's team that brought home gold, and showed Megan Keller's overtime goal. They showed Jack Hughes' overtime goal. They obviously did a little highlight on Otter when he got his gold medal. Like, it was all part of the package, right? Before the game, everybody's cheering. It's all real pre-game. Like, it's before the anthem, anything happens. During the anthem, dude, they started doing the highlights of both the men's and women's, and like the crowd started going nuts, like for the both game-winning goals being shown on the Jumbotron as Selena Ray was singing the anthem. Thought that was phenomenal. Goosebumps. Got goosebumps right now just thinking about it. It was an awesome moment. It's a great job by the Stars media team putting that up. First time that a NHL team has been able to like show highlights of the Olympics because they weren't allowed to by IOC for whatever reason during the Olympics. Dumbest thing ever. But I did ask Jake a question. I got the last question in the scrum. They called it right after because I asked the dumbest question of all time because of course I did. What do you expect from me, guys? I asked Mikko Rantanen about a Rolex last year. It was my first question to Mikko when he first showed up. And Jake, he comes back home with a gold medal. I asked Jake, what was the drink of choice at Club 11 in Miami when y'all were celebrating? And you know what he said? Whatever was handed to me. So I thought that was funny and just a funny way to end it. And gave knuckles on the way out to Jake, told him congrats, big dog, and got out of there. So lighten the mood up a little bit, after some not so fun questions, which I'm sure Jake knew were coming, but he's a big dog. He can take care of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, just the mere fact that the entire United States, he's one of the 3 best goalies in this country. And super fun to know that it's like a guy that good. Like we got some depth in the United States, and he is, I think in this kind of in this last year, you've kind of seen how much of an adult he is having to deal with the stuff he's had to deal with last playoff series. And just as a pro's pro and at really a young age, I mean, he's our age, but like to be in these situations is tough, and he's handled it very well.
It's going to be really funny because next Winter Olympics, he's going to be as old as I am right now. Like he's going to be 30. Like he's going to be in his prime, dog. Like he's going to be a dog. Like he's going to be one of those 3 guys. As long as he keeps this production style up, Team USA will definitely be bringing him on to the French Alps 2030 Olympics. And that's really cool to think about. But yeah, Jake bringing home a gold medal is like the coolest thing ever. And he also turned down a White House visit because he'd been on the road for 3 weeks. I think his wife and 3-month-old baby were there for a period of time in Italy, which was pretty cool. He was happy to have them there and just be able to be with them when he was sleeping in a dorm, having a roommate and all that kind of stuff. He was able to see them and all that. So that was good. He decided to come home because he wanted to spend time with his wife and 3-month-old baby. That's a big deal. And then he also wanted to come home and get back to training and get back to kind of live shots because he didn't play a lick in the Olympics. So that means he didn't play for 3 weeks. So he wanted to just get back to practice to help out this team. It was nothing to do with who's in office or anything like that is what he said. He's like, that was an honor to get the invite, but I felt like it was better for myself and my family and also for my team to get back a day earlier and start the work now. So good on Jake. Happy for our dog. And he's just a good guy, close personal friend, Jake Oettinger.
Yeah. And that's so on par with Jake. I mean, I saw a crazy stat, like X amount of days, X amount of games. Like this is a real, we're looking down the barrel and game. It's basically every other day there's going to be a game. That's the pace we're set, and he's locked in and he's ready to get back to action.
Yeah, I would assume that we'll see him Saturday. Before we get to Saturday's preview, we got to talk rumors. I can't remember who tweeted it out, but someone tweeted out that Tyler Myers might be on the move. He's a right-handed defenseman from Vancouver. He's 6'8". He's big body, big dude. 36 years old, carries a $3 million cap hit for this year, and next year he has a full no move clause. So that means he gets to control where he goes if he wants to move. And this summer it turns into a 12-team no move clause. So this is kind of imperative as to why the move might be happening now as opposed to the summer for Vancouver. Obviously they're selling because they're not good. Tyler Myers has been linked to the Stars and the Red Wings. They've kind of presented him some packages, I think, or some teams that have offered things. Detroit and Dallas were the 2 names that were named today. So I don't know what that looks like. He's under contract for next year and this year. So at $3 million a pop, there's kind of one move that makes sense. And it was a guy that was benched last night, is Ilya Lyubushkin, makes around the same cap hit, a little bit more, but is off the books this summer. Whereas Tyler Meyer, 6'8", right-handed defenseman, is on the books for next year, but at $3 million cap hit. So I don't know if I get it. He's 36. He'll be 37 next year. But I understand why they're looking at him because he's 6'8" and he's a right-handed defenseman. That's what makes sense in my brain. I don't know if it not necessarily makes sense for us to do that move. But if Jim Nill's making this move, I'll trust him.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Myers, it makes sense contractually. And I'm sure Jim would find the right deal to be done. But it's like in that weird period where I could see like there's going to be a move before a move. And this feels like something that could be – it feels like that Granlund and CC type deal to where the big one came. And I'm not saying we're going to have a big move this year, but I can see Jim Neal cooking up multiple things, both helping the future next season and this season.
Absolutely. And the other thing I want everyone to pay attention to is all the Jason Robertson rumors. Stop paying attention to him. He's not going anywhere this year. He is not moving unless someone moves heaven and earth like Connor fucking McDavid. No, we're not trading Jason Robertson this year. This summer, I have no idea what's going to happen. Could not tell you. He's going to be a RFA and anything could happen. But for this season, stop trading Jason Robertson in your mind. Stop trading him on paper. Stop trading him on Twitter. Stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the clicks. It's not worth the engagement. All right? So get that over with.
I will not take a single rumor serious if it's coming from anybody in, like, if it's not a Sam Nestler, if it's not a Robert Tiffin, it's not a Stone or Savannah, like, these rumors are coming from everywhere but Dallas. So, like, I see it, and then just kind of it's in one and out of the other eye for me.
Yeah. As we get closer to the trade deadline, I said it last year on this podcast. I'll say it again. Don't trust anyone unless you see the Dallas Stars or Elliot Friedman tweeted. That's it. I don't know if like Robert or Sam or anyone else has like the sources to find out a trade like an hour or two before it happens, because that's like really when Elliot gets it, right? So I don't know who's in the building. I don't know what sources we need to get so we can start breaking that news, because that'd be pretty fun. But I don't think that's my job. I think we'll leave that to Robert and Sam and everybody else, because I don't need that. I don't need that on my palette. I'll let everybody else take it and I'll react to it. That's my job. So don't worry about Jason Robertson. Tyler Myers, you might need to worry about it. I don't know. Let's just check. Just see if we got any Twitter notifications right now. We don't. So we're good. Everything's fine right now. It's recording this in the afternoon on Thursday, 26th of February. Before we get out of here, let's talk about the Dallas Stars are playing the Nashville Predators Saturday night. I won't be there, but I'll be watching. So I'm excited about it. Another lesser team, another team that's not that good this year that could be sellers. They're kind of on the cusp of making the wild card now. They're at 59 points. They had a pretty good swing there a little bit before the break, but then kind of fell right back down to earth. 3-4-3 in their last 10. They're a negative 29 differential. Like, they've got 59 points. They're 26, 24, and 7. Like, they're basically a 500 team. And that's not good enough for the amount of money that they're spending. So I don't know what's going to look like, but I would assume we see Jake Oettinger in net, and we maybe get Faksa back. I don't think we see Roope. Roope seems to be still with the illness. It's similar to what Mikko had earlier in the season where he lost a bunch of weight. Faksa's a maybe. He skated today. We'll see what he feels like on Saturday if they activate him off of IR. But I would assume you see Jake. You might see Faksa. I doubt that you see Roope, and everybody else should be there.
Yeah, and what are we on, like a
7-game win streak?
7, yeah. Like, the boys are rolling, and just keep that train moving. If Otter comes out and just starts balling out the way Thomas Harley, mark this down now. Thomas Harley is going to start a heater. What we saw last night, and hopefully we'll get to see Saturday, like, when he puts on that Canadian jersey, it's just something different. The way he moves the rest of the way.
I wish we could just throw a Canadian jersey on underneath his pads or something, or over his pads, and then you put the Stars jersey on top and be like, hey, buddy, just you go get him for old Canada, the old red maple leaf. Like, you go get him, big guy. Changes, like, vision somehow to where he sees red as his teammates, like, just something like that would help us, I think, because that boy puts that jersey on, he comes back, and he's immediately better. Can we change the best on best format to start in, like, September? That way he comes back in October and he's just immediately the best defenseman in the world. That would be cool.
I mean, the speed he moves through the neutral zone in Milan and last night, like, he just does not care. He's going to go make a play. And we desperately need that at this moment in time.
Yeah, last night he was just confident, man. He was just confident. And it was funny because he was the first penalty of the game last night.
Yeah.
The interference call. And they didn't call penalties in Milan, so he didn't think that was going to happen because he just looked up and he's like, what are we doing here? I don't know. But, I just – after what I saw last night, if you can add Faksa back into the lineup and just have that stability there on the fourth line in the center position and the PK and everything, they did just fine last night. It's not anything against anyone that played, but Faksa, he's just kind of a go-to. right? For goalie, he loves him on the PK. He loves him there on the fourth line. He commands it. He does well defensively. He does all the things, right? You get him. His big body helps out. Even if you don't, I feel really confident going into this game. I don't know if we're scoring 4 goals again, but we might. Like, let's just look at the schedule. Let's just look at what we've done. So we've scored 4 goals last game, 5 goals the game before, scored 4 goals the game before that against Winnipeg in overtime. And now everything doesn't want to work anymore. But I feel like we're scoring 4 or 5 goals a game now. I'm going to go 4-2. I'm taking your score from last time, but I'm going to take the Stars 4-2 over the Nashville Predators on Saturday night.
This is just me doing a 360 no scope here off of just a hope that I think if Andre's in net, I would just love to see it. I'm going 3-0. I'm going a shutout for Jake. I'm going Jason Robertson, something from the side, flying through that net, top shelf, bar down.
Robo not scoring last night was shocking.
Yeah,
the amount of looks that he had and everything, and Wyatt too, not getting the hat trick was also shocking because he was right there, and you could tell that he was a little disappointed that he didn't get it because he had a handful of moments where he thinks he should have had it, hit the bar on one. But yeah, I think if Wyatt and Robo are just buzzing like they were last night, then you get the rest of the guys being bowling balls and Ritzy and everything else. And Matt Duchesne's still on fire. Jamie Benn looked good last night. Sam Steele had one of his best games of the season, I think, last night. You just keep the ball rolling. You get Roope back next week, maybe on that road trip, the back-to-back on Monday, Tuesday, and you just kind of move along and everything's going to be just fine. So I'm going to go 4-2. You're going 3-0. I would love a shutout for Jake because I tweeted out during the second game for U.S. in the Olympics when they tweeted out the roster that Hellebuck was backing up Jeremy Swayman. I said, Jake Oettinger is going to come back and be the best goaltender in the world, isn't he, when he comes back from the Olympics? Because he didn't touch the ice, unfortunately. But I hope that's the case. I hope Jake kind of balls out and just shuts everybody up. And then we're already looking at 2030, and we're like, there's your guy. He's right there. He's right in front of your face. He was there the whole time.
Yeah, and, we're recording this on a Thursday, a little early. Hopefully we get some news on Tyler Seguin because that's going to be really important. The trade deadline is going to sneak up on us in literally a week. So hopefully we get that done.
So, yeah, we'll find out what happens there. Obviously, as soon as he goes on SELTIR, they will either tweet it out and send us an email right after, or they'll send us an email, or they'll tweet it out right after. So you will see it on Twitter. Basically, at the same time I'm finding out, I will find out with the rest of you because they won't let us know and they won't send the email 5 minutes before. So it is what it is. We'll know if he goes on SELTIR soon, but you would have to do a bunch of moves at that same time. So You will see a lot of people coming up, a lot of people going down, people that have options, and there's more people that are expensive down at the AHL level. They'll be bringing them up to get as close to the cap as possible before putting Seguin on SELTIR. So we'll see. I hope Seguin's doing okay, and I hope we get to use $9.85 million.
Yeah, and you're just going to have to stay plugged in to the podcast on YouTube, the account on Twitter, the account on Instagram. You're just going to have to stay plugged in because as soon as we know, we'll let everybody else know.
Absolutely. Follow us, subscribe to us, all the things on audio platforms, on Clean Sheet Advice on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, at Clean Sheet Advice. We had a fun night on Twitter last night. A lot of highlights, not a lot of fun moments. Good stuff. And we'll be back on Monday with another episode. So we'll probably record on Sunday, talk about that episode, or talk about the Saturday game against the Predators and preview the Monday game. Maybe the Tuesday game, because Tuesday, I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday night during that game. I don't remember who they're playing, but there's somebody on the road. It's at 8 o'clock. We're going to be streaming that game on TikTok, on Clean Sheet Advice on YouTube and everywhere else. So make sure you tune in for that. There's no happy hour that night, right? No happy hour because we're streaming during the game. It's going to be more fun that way. So hope you join us. Hope you hit that subscribe button because at 250, we're giving away that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead, and we're so close down. We're so close.
We're right there.
We've been dreaming of this moment to give away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. We thought it might happen sooner. Might have thought it happened later. But we're getting close because at 250, we'll give that one away. And we'll also unveil what will be given away at 500 subscribers on this YouTube channel when we give that one away. So hit that subscribe button so you can find out and also enter to win a Mikko Rantanen bobblehead.
Subscribe because we are about to hit the pinnacle of this playoff race, and it's going to be, you're going to have to strap in.
Playoffs are coming. Playoffs are almost here. It's already terrifying. I can't even wait. I'm so excited, but that'll do it for Clean Sheet Advice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, audio platforms. Follow us on social media at Clean Sheet Advice, and we'll be back on Monday with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.